I've been spending a lot of time thinking about the division that's happening in our world right now. And living in the United States, this is something that has been pretty obvious really ever since the 2020 elections, or even before that. There seems to be this division that's starting to really bubble up across really multiple demographics and areas in the country, where everything seems to be like a wedge issue. The coronavirus pandemic was a huge, divider in our society as well. Mask, no mask. Vax everybody, don't vax everybody, right? Regardless of where you stand, there seems to be a lot of just groups and tribes that are really starting to form around everything that we think of from a society perspective, from a political perspective, food. I don't know. There just seems to be all this division. And it's really, it hurts to see, it really hurts to see. And the one thing that I really started thinking about is, okay, so what are the things that are uniting us? Right? What are the things that are starting to bring us together? And a very obvious one for me, especially, because I'm so involved in it, and I'm sure everyone who's watching this video probably is as well, is Elon Musk, right? So thinking about what Elon Musk is doing right now, and really the things that he's working on and the companies that he's building and the missions that he's really after, and for lack of a better word, these are things that are uniting people, right? For better or for worse, they're uniting people. So a perfect example of this is the Tesla community. This incredible just conglomeration of people from across the world that has come together around this mission of moving the world towards a sustainable future, okay? Some of those people in that group are going to be fans of the mission. Some of them are just fans of the car. Some of them are fans of Elon. Some of them are fans of the merch. I don't know, just there's a bunch of different variables as to why people might want to follow a company like Tesla or SpaceX or a person like Elon. But what's really encouraging from my end is that it's uniting. It's bringing people together. And I think that essence of Elon and Tesla and his companies doesn't get talked about enough. We spend too much time thinking about stock price and, the rockets and everything like that, the products, which is great, which are very, very exciting things, the cars and the brain implants and the tunnels, right? These are amazing things. But I think Elon as a uniting force is something that is probably just as important, if not more so, than everything that he's doing or his teams are doing across the companies. And what's very interesting about Elon himself is that he's somebody that's obviously not perfect, right? I think every one of us has a tweet, we have one of his tweets that we think about, it's like, oh man, Elon, why'd you say that, right? Even though none of us really know the guy, right? Outside of exceptionally few people that might be watching this video, right? None of us really know him as a person, but at least it seems very obvious that Elon is somebody who's genuine about how he carries himself, the imperfections that he has, he's not afraid to show. His Twitter feed is a perfect example of this. He's shot himself in the foot multiple times. But these things, again, seem to have that uniting force where even though Elon is a person that is not perfect, obviously, because he's human and does make mistakes, it does not erase the fact that he's somebody that's trying to do the right thing, or at the very least comes across as somebody who's trying to do the right thing for the entire world. So not for a specific country, for a specific group of people, for a specific product or money or whatever. It's moving the world towards a better future. And so I'm oftentimes thinking about what is the next step of this, right? We have this community around this person and his companies that it seems to be growing day by day. As more cars are sold, as more videos of Elon get consumed on YouTube by people who haven't maybe heard from him, things like SNL were big things for people to get introduced to Elon. The Babylon Bee interviews seem to have been, again, another introduction to folks that maybe weren't following him a lot. The Cybertruck release is probably going to be yet another catalyst for people to look into Elon that maybe wouldn't have in the past. All these folks that traditionally wouldn't be looking into somebody like an Elon or a Tesla or a sustainable company. Maybe they'll see the car or the truck and be like, whoa, this is really cool. I'm wondering who built this, right? I'm just left wondering over time, where does this lead? Is this a good thing? Is this a bad thing, right? What are the long-term implications of an individual having a massive group of people around him that are really, really rooting for him and his missions, okay? And this is where I really want to hear from you as the viewer. Where do we think this uniting force is taking us to, right? In my head, if I'm trying to be the optimistic person that I am, I think over time, it might encourage people to really not be afraid of following folks or missions that they are really passionate about. And as those things start to pop up, it will create a more diverse people right? Whereas it's not so much left or right or A and B, right? It's I'm passionate about this thing and I really want to follow it. I'm also passionate about this thing and I really want to follow that as well. And that thing, right? It could be on multiple planes or multiple dimensions instead of almost being presented two options and then saying, okay, I want this one. But I think the really big thing there that we can't forget as a people is that the last thing we want to do is be blind, right? So we can't be blind when we go that direction. We still have to use our brains. We still have to think. We still have to be critical about the direction that we're going. But ultimately, I think someone like an Elon would be very for this, right? Even himself as a person seems like a guy that really is very critical, first principles thinking, right, about everything. We have to make sure we do that as well. But I can't help but feel hopeful, right? I can't help, even in the world that we live in today with as much division as we have, someone like an Elon, something like a Tesla or a SpaceX, again, they just seem like such positive things for the world. And as long as we have people like Elon or others like him or the community around it that wants the right thing for the world and wants the right thing for people, ultimately, I think we'll be in good shape. But I really would love to hear from you. So, am I thinking about this incorrectly? Am I delusional? Am I naive, right? I'm really here just to learn. And I'm identifying a trend that I'm sure a lot of us have already identified. But I really want to talk about it. Like, what is this? What is this thing? Is it good? Is it bad? How do we expand it if it's good? How do we keep it in check if it's bad, right? I really would love to start a conversation. And if you have something to say, positive or negative, drop it in the comment section below. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you like what you watched, throw me a like. If you want to see more stuff from me, subscribe. If you'd like to join my channel, click on join on the button below the video. Or you can also join me as a patron in my Patreon link below in the description. And lastly, I have a podcast series that I run on this channel. You can find these as well on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or any other podcast app. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.